So we're sponsors. Show your badge.
Badge.
Very welcome. We're here.
For your investment.
You're very welcome. We're here to support. I don't know.
Pay for that with Monopoly money, so
That's good.
I don't know if that'll cash.
You know what?
We take Venmo too.
The check didn't clear until yesterday. Not that the check didn't clear.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Believe it or not, in some unexpected way, I screwed up the wire transfer, and I went and looked at our bank account for something. I'm like, we're a little flush.
Woo!
And then I looked and said, that wire didn't go out. So I wrote to Mary, and I'm like, did you get our money? She's like, give me the money. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I went back and I fixed it, and it showed up yesterday. So we are
still on track.
We are sponsors in good standing. Welcome to an all-new episode of Work in Progress with John Lane and Will Barfield. This podcast explores leadership traits under stress with a special guest each week. We use a simple and accurate OAD assessment to identify key personality traits or superpowers, as well as the shadow side, kryptonite traits that appear when we're under stress. As always, we'll have some pod banter, shameless plugging, and we'll even let our guests talk for a bit. Of course, no humble brags. Welcome to the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome live. I mean, how else could we do it, right? Live from the CED Venture Connect in downtown Raleigh in the Citrix building. This is the first time for everyone. We've never done a live record, and we've never had ourselves and a guest in the same room. Hello, guest.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
All right, we'll get to you in about 10 minutes.
Don't forget, John, this is Venture Connect 2024.
Oh, 2024. We date stamped it. See, a year ago when we started, you wouldn't have known to do that. And now it just comes totally naturally. Totally natural.
But you know what year it is.
Yeah. So we're sponsors. Show your badge.
Badge.
Very welcome. We're here.
For your investment.
You're very welcome. We're here to support. I don't know.
Pay for that with Monopoly money, so
That's good.
I don't know if that'll cash.
You know what?
We take Venmo too.
The check didn't clear until yesterday. Not that the check didn't clear.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Believe it or not, in some unexpected way, I screwed up the wire transfer, and I went and looked at our bank account for something. I'm like, we're a little flush.
Woo!
And then I looked and said, that wire didn't go out. So I wrote to Mary, and I'm like, did you get our money? She's like, give me the money. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I went back and I fixed it, and it showed up yesterday. So we are
still on track.
We are sponsors in good standing. So, Will, what's new with you?
Oh, what's new with me is this is the first time we've done a recording where we're all in the same room, and I'm fighting the urge to look at you.
Oh, right.
Look at the camera.
Look at the camera.
It'd be a different experience for our whipsters.
Yeah.
That we're interacting and we're all just a few feet from each other.
I know. It's nice.
Yeah.
Now, we might be in the same club soon. It's not a club you want to be in. What's going on?
Oh, the shoulder club.
Shoulder club.
Yeah. I'm having a little bit of a shoulder issue. Just some bursitis, but getting it dealt with. It's just,
I'm in that club.
Comes with aging.
Are you?
No, I don't know what it's called. I call it yoga shoulder.
Yeah. Yoga shoulder?
Yeah.
So
Down, dog.
I went to my hand to shoulder doc because when you get a certain age, you got doctors.
You got him a speed dial, brother.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
It's just Will calling again.
But hopefully not progressing to rotator cuff.
We do not. We absolutely do not want you in that club. It's a little bit more elite than I think you're ready for. But hey, swag. Forgot to mention that.
That's great, doesn't it?
Work in Progress Leadership Series.
Yeah.
Do you want one?
Yeah.
Would you wear it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't wear it.
Of course I would. It fits me.
Now there's conditions. We went from yes to conditional yes.
She can be bought.
Oh.
I never agreed to that. Yes, swag.
Swag. Swag her. Swag her.
Swag.
Welcome to the pod. I'm John Lane.
I am Will Barfield.
And not only are we a work in progress, we're projecting.
We are projecting.
It's projection day.
It is because we're all on the same mic, which is new too.
Which is
from
new.
an audio perspective.
And I guess from a banter perspective, I should. Yeah, you're good. I think I should admit that I set us up for this, and I've never done it before. And I gave ourselves like 15 minutes of testing.
We were going to do LinkedIn Live for the longest time, and we never did it because we
It's
never
too
figured out how
hard.
to do it.
It was too hard. And we had a guest. This guy's got like 10 million LinkedIn sponsors. He's like a LinkedIn god. And I was like, I'm not going to screw up with him. So we did it the old-fashioned way.
John is not afraid to take on a challenge that he doesn't know how to win. But he'll take it on anyway.
I'll take it on anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh, yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Entrepreneurial.
It is entrepreneurial. I'm a 10 in the CR. So I already knew that. Special guest, Will. Why is he special?
Because the slide says so.
And
slides don't lie.
That's
even
true.
When there's falsity on it.
That's correct. If it's on the slide, it has to be true, even if it's a bald-faced lie.
If it's a misspelling on the slide, then the word is actually being spelled correctly and the dictionary's wrong.
Yeah. It's been the upside of being a sponsor of this conference. I've learned to spell entrepreneurial.
Wow. Congratulations.
I'm not good at spelling.
So, quiz.
Oh, no. I can't. I cannot do it.
Liar.
Years ago, I was going to Reykjavik on a client, with a games client over there, and we're going, and I swore to myself before we left I would learn to spell Reykjavik, and I did. And the minute we got home, I lost it. I could no longer spell it.
I like to consider myself a creative speller.
Yes, creative speller. Sounds like. Well, why don't you project and introduce yourself, Kelly?
Hi, I'm Kelly with CED.
Oh, very
Would
good.
you like to know more?
Oh, we want it.
So much. This is called Phil. In podcast terms, this is called Phil.
So what can I tell you about Kelly? Kelly moved to the Triangle in 2016.
That's how long I've known you. Yeah.
Was one of the first.
Oh, that's sweet.
8 years.
Yeah. People
16?
Yeah. Long time, right?
I look a lot thinner then.
But it's been a wild ride since. Been at CED since 17. So
you were 16, then you joined here at 17.
Yeah, I took 6 months off of work.
Why not?
Just for fun.
Yeah.
To figure out what my next move was.
Figure out
Very entrepreneurial.
Figure out the difference between the 440 and the 540. That was the first thing I had to figure out. Wait, there's 2 loops?
There's 2 loops.
Oh, I was trying to make a Raisin Bran joke. It's 2 scoops.
Yeah.
This is 2 loops. But
and remind me, Kelly, when you came in at CED, what was the role? And then there was an interim period too, right? Like,
so cool. They created a role for me. They were actually not even hiring for anyone, and I just got introduced to the CEO at the time, and she said, "I need you on my team. Write a job description."
oh wow!
Yeah. So I came in as.
Did you get to write a salary too?
Yeah. I guess.
Whoa.
That was great. Yeah. The skill sets were a match. Right. So,
Perfect.
Working with nonprofits, mature nonprofits, to help understand value that they create and how they make the world a better place.
Awesome.
So,
love that.
A lot of fun.
Love that. Okay. Let us move along. Thank you for joining us, special guest. So as always, we talk about leadership traits under stress. Mm-hmm. Where do we get that information, Will?
From, was it the cereal box? No. Cracker Jack.
Okay. Fruit Loops.
We get it from the amazing OAD.
Don't oversell us.
Assessment tool.
Yeah. And why do we pick this?
Because it's highly accurate.
It is.
Extremely easy to administer.
Yeah.
Kelly did it super fast.
Super fast.
Yeah. It eliminates social desirability distortions because you're not doing multiple choice.
Exactly.
If then, or better and less.
Picking adjectives.
And it is built to the standards of leading international psychological institutions and rating agencies, which means you can trust the data.
You can trust the data. Don't trust us.
Please don't.
Trust the data. Good. So when we talk about this, we always introduce OAD via the leadership style matrix. We talk about generalists and specialists. Generalists are venturesome, Venture Connect. They're independent. They're risk takers. They're delegators. They care that work gets done. Specialists are sort of the opposite. They're structured. They're compliant. They don't like ambiguous situations or risks. And they care that work gets done.
How work gets done. Yeah. Specialist is how, right?
I did it backwards, right?
Yeah, you did.
Can we fix that and edit?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're the producer. So
oh, boy.
You can do whatever you want, but yes.
And then we look at socially oriented and technically oriented. Socially oriented people are warm, open, amiable, quick to trust. You could think of them as optimistic. In our world, we don't think the opposite of optimistic is pessimistic. It's skeptical. Skeptical people are analytical. Their communication style might be a little brusque, talking about Mr. Barfield's here. You ask them one question, they're going to respond with 2 additional questions on their own. They may think before they speak, not me, not you, but they're very nice people. So I am a socially oriented generalist in the builder quadrant, negotiator. Will is a
technically oriented generalist, architect quadrant. I'm a developer.
and guess what Kelly is?
She's a builder.
And
I'm going to guess. Is she a negotiator like you?
yeah, you're a negotiator, right? Yeah. So we are not the most unique trait we've had. I would say half of all of our guests have been builders, and 2/3 of those builders have been negotiators. So we're like a 4 or 5 in a deck of cards. I mean, there's some value, but not a lot. But that's me being self-deprecating. You're worth a queen easily, maybe even an ace.
Maybe. I'm a joker.
Yeah, nice. Look at you taking improv classes. It's paying off. I like that.
Quick wit.
All right. So let us walk you through Kelly's output. Now,
look at that.
This is going to be interesting because Kelly's pattern is almost the same as mine. Mine are A and E are stacked, but they're on the H. Hers is on the 7. That's no real difference. And her midpoint is about the same as mine. And her detail orientation is also low like mine. But Kelly, when you get into her actual assessment rather than the high level we're doing here, she picked different adjectives than me because you pick up a whole technical vibe that I don't. And your run-of-the-mill, inexpensive assessments wouldn't pick up on that. But our high-end, the fidelity of ours picks that up. So, Will, don't you want to ask Kelly something?
I do. How do you feel about being reduced down to a 2-dimensional table?
I think it makes sense, so I agree with it.
And yeah, you have it.
Beautiful answer.
Love it.
It's like you knew what to say, but she didn't actually.
I didn't know what the question was.
Yeah, it's about feels. Feel the feels. That's our podcast.
The background wasn't great. Maybe we can make that chart a little bit prettier.
Which one?
A little bit louder.
This chart?
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to Philip about that. We aren't in control of that. We're software users, not developers.
That's her CR there.
Like project my aura somehow.
Oh, aura. All right, I'm taking a note. Aura.
Add aura to.
Add aura.
Kind of green.
It's on our list. All right, so we'll take over.
So Kelly, anyone who lands in the builder quadrant as a negotiator is going to get these general or generic readouts as their superpowers. But so we won't spend a lot of time here. But is there one on this list that you feel like is the most accurate, speaks to your personality, or that others that you've encountered in the past have said, "Oh, that would be her"?
Yeah, optimistic demeanor for sure. Definitely the person in the room who says how, not why not. So
love it.
And over here on the flip side, is it moving?
It did.
It's
not on yours. It's podcast magic. It's like it's just happening before us. Did it just go?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that. You kept me guessing. Kryptonite, again, generic. But of these, is there one that you would select and talk about?
Let me see.
When things become stressful and our powers invert.
Sufficiently analytical.
Why? Why'd you pick that?
I get bored easily, so it gets super detailed.
And what were you just like?
I tune out.
Tune out.
My brain turns off. I'm over designing something in the clouds over here.
You ever sign anything in that mode?
No, I delegated that.
Yes, smart. That is very smart.
Funny, I was going to ask you, like, who on your team?
Yeah.
That supports you, lifts you up there. Like, who are your people that take care of the data and the details and the analytics?
Who can do stuff that you don't like and do it because they like it?
Everybody else on my team.
Perfect.
That's how I built my team, right? We're an EOS shop, so traction is what we follow. I'm very much the visionary, and I have an integrator who pays attention to details for me.
Perfect combination.
Yeah.
Gotta have the integrator.
Gotta have the integrator. Will has that tattooed on his arm.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so he can't show it though.
It says gotta have the integrator. John made me do it.
All right. So my fault. I'm supposed to take what you write and like edit it for a presentation on a slide.
Oh wow!
Clearly
Did not.
did not do that.
Mm.
Detail orientation.
How's
So
my spelling in my grammar?
I thought it was great. I liked it so much I didn't edit it.
Oh wow!
So Will, why don't you see if you can wade through this and get to a couple of superpower moments?
You know what's interesting?
What?
Is she has it on her screen.
Yeah.
I don't have it on my screen. I'm still on the prior slide.
I would fake it.
Now it's there. It
Interesting.
disappeared.
Yeah.
Don't have to fake it. That's a lot of reading. My.
You could think you're the integrator.
Yes.
So, you took the assessment, Kelly. You communicated with John. You wrote these things. This was your input. Walk us through these superpowers and why you selected to share this information. Talk to us about these.
Sure. So I was thinking about superpowers, and I actually took the approach of what my team has told me I'm good at, actually, and not what I think I'm good at. So I agree with them, which I guess is a good thing. So that's good. Quiet solver, I think Jay Bigelow on my team is my co-pilot, and he has learned to understand how my brain works, and that I often stay quiet in discussions because I'm picking up all of the details about the discussion actually and solving a problem in my head, and I'm applying it to other discussions that have happened previously. And so while he is manning the conversation, I'm actually solving, and then I tend to come in with the solution at the end, which is that solution builder's bullet, the next one. I retain a lot of crazy data and points, nodes from conversations. And so when I do solve, I'm typically solving 3, 4, 5 challenges at once, which is kind of cool to see it all come together. And I think that's something my staff has told me they're impressed with, that I can do.
Before we leave this bullet, quick question.
Yes.
Do you take a lot of notes, or do you not take a lot of notes and it just stays in there?
It just stays in there.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, I don't even see a pen with you.
No.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever ask you about that? Like, why don't you take notes? Or why aren't you taking any notes?
She's the boss. No one's going to ask that. Now,
once upon a time, I did take a lot of notes. Yeah. I used to have like a physical notebook, and I actually had a Remarkable too. Yeah. Which I liked. But
sponsor opportunity. Remarkable.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, please. I love them. I just don't refer to them that often. So it's like, sometimes I use it just to actually keep my attention.
Yes.
To the conversation.
Writing stuff down. Yeah. I do the same. And, we typically edit these pods 6 weeks from the recording. And there's little nuggets that I loved at the time. I'll just jot like a recording time down or a note to look for, or edit something Will said out of the pod. But I won't remember that as I'm doing it live. So that's super helpful. But yeah, I don't go back and look at notes very often.
But I am, very adamant about using project management tools. Like if it's not in Asana or Salesforce, it's not in it.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
I don't have a deadline. You never assign it to me. So
correct.
I definitely hold my team accountable from that respect.
Me.
Visual designer.
Visual designer. So I'm a Lean Six Sigma person. I like sticky notes and charts and Gantt charts. Project management, something I've always done. If I'm in a room with a whiteboard, you can bet that I'm hopping up to draw something when I want to explain something to define an idea or think through an idea. So definitely part of my protocol and how I communicate. Systems and tech, so I'm not weird, actually. 50% right brain, 50% left brain person. And that's because I am the product of a interior designer and a nurse practitioner / healthcare administrator. So
I thought it was because you parted your hair in the middle and the brain just sort of came that way. Right. Your story's better. Your reason is better.
So I use that to my advantage a lot. not only can I see big picture, big solutions, but I typically can like get us on the path to solving and implementing.
I'm a systems person as well. I don't know like deep tech and stuff, but I use systems to pick up my kryptonite, like not super detail oriented, not great at follow up. And not that I'm not great at it, it's that I'm off doing something else. There's some other next thing for me. And I use CRM systems. Every week, Sunday night, I write my week priorities. My CRM, Will and I picked a CRM that reminds us who to contact if we haven't written to them in a while. All of that, because otherwise I'll just be off chasing the next rabbit and I'll forget about all the other stuff that I do. So that works for me. Mm-hmm. But I've had to learn that over time.
Okay, let's see how long it takes for the slide to pop for me.
Did yours switch?
Hasn't yet. Yeah, TL.
Good. Will, kryptonite.
Yeah, boy, kryptonite.
Fake
it. Dangerous. I'll let you know when it shows up on my screen. It'll be any moment, I'm sure. So
this would be a good ad for like Google Fiber or something. I don't know what they're on here, but it's very slow.
Oh, look, well, these are more brief. So
it's John's fault, not mine.
I'm not.
It's always
into detail.
It's always the producer's fault. Let's agree with that.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So why did you select these kryptonite moments? You wrote this stuff down for us. Talk us through.
So TLDR, funny story there. I have a staff member who started using that term not too long ago, actually, and I didn't know what it meant. And that has stuck. It's in Slack. It's basically starts every communication for Kelly, TLDR. This is what I need. And then all the details after that. It's really quite funny.
So you're an executive summary person.
I am an executive summary person.
Yeah.
I had a mentor tell me once that the way that he managed that, because he was the same way, is that actually when he would make the team announce what they needed when they walked into the room. Like, do you need to vent?
Yeah.
Do you need a solution for something? Or, what are you here? What's your purpose? Before they start.
One of our early guests, Sarah Glova, remember, she has this newsletter. One of her social media was great. She said, if you're writing or talking to somebody, flip the script. Write the story, and at the end is the ask, and then flip it. Yeah. So when you meet with somebody, you're going to ask a favor, maybe say hello, how are the kids? But I'm going to ask you a favor. And just like, okay, I know where this conversation is going. I don't wait for the big reveal at the end. Yeah, so I'm very similar. Yeah,
definitely. It can be like confused with being direct, right? Or
yeah.
So definitely know that about myself. Unformatted work. This is just my systems, I think, brain. Like if someone sends me a document that's 5 spaces instead of like a tab over, or like it's just, that is very distracting for me. Like I want to fix the document. It's just not an efficient use of my time.
I can't tell you how much I spend time, but my brain is doing the deep work while I'm doing the formatting. So by the time I finish formatting, I know what I want to talk about or what I think about the document. But I'll waste a lot of time formatting.
So that's actually where my Remarkable came in handy. Is I could take it and like go draw pictures and then form my story and then go in and put it in PowerPoint. So I wasn't sitting there formatting.
Yeah. Yes.
I was building the story.
Remarkable opportunity.
Yeah. So another plug.
Nobody will.
Yeah. Shipment on the way.
You can send us yours, then we have another one.
And then project management tools, which I've already touched on, right?
So why is it a kryptonite?
Because if it's not in there, it doesn't get done for me.
When you have a deadline, do you procrastinate to the deadline, or
Absolutely.
does having the okay?
I was in art school, and I would go at 2 a.m. to the studio to do my drawing because that's when I get creative. So it's always the 11th
under
hour.
pressure.
Yeah.
So you were the last minute crammer in college?
Yeah, but it's typically brilliant what happens afterwards, My team, like especially with Venture Connect, like a lot of the ideas, like the chains that came out.
Yeah, I love them.
All that stuff is like 11th hour for me. And they just are like learn to expect it now.
Wait for it.
Like something's coming from Kelly.
Keep your slack
It's gonna
on.
be fun.
Keep
but
your
we have
slack
to,
on
like,
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. They're planning around it, but absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense. You were the one in the library the morning of the exam, right? Taking no-dos. That moved quickly that time. Wonderful segue. So, Kelly, you went through this exercise with us. We know that you enjoy assessments and self-study and reflection, that you're always working on getting better. You've talked about, credit to your team. You hire people around you who make you better. But the review of all this information here with us today, what can you take from this exercise and this pod today and apply to what you're doing now and what you do going forward as a leader, whether it's leading at work, leading in the community, leading at home? Like how can these leadership lessons be applied?
I think the fun part about these assessments is that it's validation of how you feel inside, projecting outwards. And I think if you're able to own that, it's a really special thing. I definitely encourage other folks to own who they are. There's no right version or an aspirational part on this graph that you want to be. It's just understanding kind of where you fit in the problem solving process and how, all the components work together to do really big things. And I think that's important. So this self-visualization, self-awareness, self-promotion of how you contribute, I think is vitally important to success on a team. So I love doing these types of assessments.
We talk to a lot of senior execs, just given, this. And we rarely tell someone something they didn't intrinsically know. You've done a bunch of these, so you're on this of the curve. But when you find someone who's on the learning part of the curve, they're not surprised by what they learn, but now they have a vernacular. They have a framework to put it. Oh, I'm a generalist and I'm a socially oriented generalist. I can sort of ladder into that, and now I have a hook to own it. So it's really remarkable watching that happen. For folks like you who have done a bunch of these in the past, we always hope that there's a little sliver of something new that they learned. So that's what's fun about this for us.
I'm assuming you're pointing at me.
Just because I was stepping on your slide.
Oh, step away.
Away.
Step off or step on or step around.
All right. Can you believe it? We have been planning this for as long as 6 days. I can't believe it's over.
That's it.
No, usually I've been hunting somebody for like 7 months, and we finally get them on, and then 22 minutes later, it's over. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for having us. Thank you for letting us be part of your little world. Well, that little world, your wonderful conference.
John, credit to Kelly.
Yeah.
She's busy trying to
exactly
put together Venture Connect 2024 and also found time for us over that course of the last 2 weeks to meet with me, say, let's do it, go through the process, communicate with you, and then, pull time away from the conference today to give us an hour and change to do the show and the recording. So thank you very much, Kelly.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
No, fun.
I'm John Lane.
I am WIL Barfield.
And we are
a work
in progress.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good week. Have a good show. Bye.
We're matching things every week.
And out. Perfect. Work in Progress is a podcast presentation of Slipshod Productions. Available on LinkedIn and YouTube. Executive produced and starring John Lane and WIL Barfield. Talent booking, production, and editing by John Lane. Thanks for watching. See you next week.